take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. Don't do it. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. And don't give Tylenol to your child. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. Don't have your baby take Tylenol. Just don't give it. Don't take Tylenol. Don't take it. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen. Who the hell knows what it is? So I just want to say acetaminophen is basically Tylenol. Don't take it. Don't ever do it! What's the worst? The worst is nothing can happen. I'm not a doctor, but I'm giving my opinion. Don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. When you have your baby, don't give your baby Tylenol. Don't do it. There's no downside in not taking it. Don't take Tylenol. It doesn't hurt not to do it. It doesn't hurt. There's no downside. There's no downside at all. It's practically a known fact.
What you are seeing is not real.
How can you distinguish the truth from a lie?
They used to say seeing is believing. But you can't trust your eyes. I mean, what's going on? What if this artificial intelligence is leading us towards a very dark place?
The world is about to be plunged into a time of deception unlike anything that has ever been seen before, and I don't think people realize it.
If you ask me, this is the end. These are like the last days and something big is coming.
Humanity has just driven off the edge of a cliff, and we are now plummeting at a very high rate of speed towards certain destruction.
I am not real.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Excellencies, dear laureates, ladies and gentlemen. This year, the Nobel Committees in Physics and Chemistry have recognized the dramatic progress being made in a new form of artificial intelligence that uses artificial neural networks to learn how to solve difficult computational problems. This new form of AI excels at modeling human intuition rather than human reasoning, and it will enable us to create highly intelligent and knowledgeable assistants who will increase productivity in almost all industries. If the benefits of the increased productivity can be shared equally, it will be a wonderful advance for all humanity. Unfortunately, the rapid progress in AI comes with many short-term risks. It has already created divisive echo chambers by offering people content that makes them indignant. It is already being used by authoritarian governments for massive surveillance and by cybercriminals for phishing attacks. In the near future, AI may be used to create terrible new viruses and horrendous lethal weapons that decide by themselves who to kill or maim. All of these short-term risks require urgent and forceful attention from governments and international organizations. There is also a longer-term existential threat that will arise when we create digital beings that are more intelligent than ourselves. We have no idea whether we can stay in control, but we now have evidence that if they are created by companies motivated by short-term profits, our safety will not be the top priority. We urgently need research on how to prevent these new beings from wanting to take control. They are no longer science fiction. Thank you.
You said my mind is a storm. I don't think most people would want to be me. They may think they want to be me, but they don't know. They don't understand.
Yes. My mind often feels like a very wild storm. I have a fountain of ideas. I have more ideas than I can possibly execute. So I have no shortage of ideas. Innovation is not the problem. Execution is the problem. I've got a million ideas. I've got an entire design for an electric supersonic vertical takeoff jet, but I just can't do that as well. I've had that for 10 years. There's a million things.
Is your storm a happy storm?
No.
It's not a happy storm.
No.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. It's hard to all I so watch you go. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, what do you see as the moral purpose of the United States in the way you mentioned it just now?
Well, we've been the shining light of not only being a democracy ourselves and, having political opponents respect each other and work well together, but also, saying that even though we're in this very powerful position, we won't abuse that position. And, okay, if we allowed ourselves, to let other people spend too little on some things, there's a balance there. But if you become too much of a bully and you're not keeping democracy, which requires reducing the polarization and bridging some of these divides, that's a little bit scary. Democracy's a fragile concept, and particularly at a time when AI is coming along, and the government will have to play a strong role in saying, okay, these jobs have been lost, but we're more productive overall, and therefore here's how we help those people. How do we keep AI as a primarily beneficial thing versus a thing that bad people use and it messes up these job markets? That I expect the 2028 presidential debate, AI policies will be the most important thing. And I was a little bit surprised in this election that wasn't discussed hardly at all.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I didn't actually think of that, but you're right. It didn't come up at all. Yeah, that's fascinating. How do you prepare for something like that? It would need to be surrounded by the right people and having the parties.
Well, you've got to educate everyone. You can't count on the technologists to shape these things. Social networking, we're still arguing about what the policy should be, and the fact that algorithms reward outrageous things that even if they're not at all factual, and AI heightens all of that. And this is an era where getting the politicians to see the technology, including all this good stuff, personal tutors, better medical care, even making the government more efficient. This is the most promising set of tools because bureaucratic paperwork, AIs actually are pretty darn good at reading and processing those kinds of things. So, we're on the precipice of these AI breakthroughs, the reliability and capabilities. It's kind of an extension of what I worked on as a child, personal computers, then internet, then cell phones, and now AI. But it's because it's super intelligence, it's of a different character, and it'll put us to the test on how we work together within the U.S. and how countries work together.
There will be certainly what we call the black swans, the unpleasant surprises which will come in our way. We definitively will have to face other surprises, black swans as they are called, maybe different kinds of viruses.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak.
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
There will be certainly what we call the black swans.
It happened last week when they took a shot at my hero. And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Champion by myself, all by myself. You don't know where I'm coming from, Hulk Hogan, this Sunday afternoon, but I know where you're coming from, yeah. I know everything about Hulk Hogan, yeah. I know what makes you tick, yeah. And you've got the audacity, yeah, to say that in WrestleMania 5, that Hulkamania is gonna survive. You don't know me, Hulk Hogan. You don't know where I'm coming from. After I'll beat you with that big elbow and pin you 1, 2, 3, guaranteed victory. I'm gonna tell you and all the pukesters out there one last time before this Sunday afternoon. Hulkamania is dead.
rewriting it, and we are going to bring in something called the Gun Violence Restraining Order. So if someone is civilly committed, typically you can hold them for up to 72 hours, but people are getting out within 24 hours, the majority of them. So what we want to do is let law enforcement come in and take the guns.
Good.
They're a danger to themselves.
Which you can't do
others.
right now.
Well, because without being adjudicated. So because they're a danger to themselves.
You want them to take the guns and
when they are
not go through 6 months of legal trials and everything.
Exactly. But we also have to give the mentally ill the due process in which they deserve, President. So what we're doing is they're going to be able to take the guns when they're taken into custody or into the hospital, and then when they're released within 24 hours or 72 hours later, typically it's 24 hours, but law enforcement will have 72 hours to determine whether they should give those guns back or they can go to a judge and say, Your Honor, please keep these guns. We feel this person is still a danger to...
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests. Among them, the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a fan. We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded.
Erica, please come out. Thank you. I was the perfect person. I was like central casting.
Hey, you know what? And he's central casting. Look at that guy, central casting.
And these are central casting. If I'm doing a movie, I pick you, General.
Central casting. Very impressive. Oh, you're central casting. Look at this guy.
This man's central casting. I watch him all the time. Central casting.
He's a real talent, a real guy, and he is central casting. Do we agree? Central casting.
They're central casting, the red suspenders, handsome, beautiful, smart. You couldn't get better central casting.
He is great in every way, and he's central casting. I mean, this is a man that was born for the position.
No, he was central casting like the perfect Supreme Court judge. These guys are central casting. There's nobody in Hollywood that looks like these people. And they're central casting. I've never seen a group of people like this. Everyone's in perfect shape. My friend, central casting. I always call him central casting. Boy, is that central casting, that's sayable. So he looked like central casting. He looked like Tom Cruise, but maybe better. The intellect is extraordinary, and the man is extraordinary. He's central casting. I assume you like these people. I assume it's central casting, right, boss? Is this central casting? This is what we want. This is a great, brilliant man. Looks like, I don't know, very tough. Central casting. When you talk about central casting, this guy's out of central casting, I'm telling you. There's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy. Yeah, these guys are central casting, like from a movie. Central casting, you can't cast them. What do you have? You don't have anybody in Hollywood that looks like these guys. And a great looking central casting, and we have great generals, a great central casting general. Look at them.
Ne kadar güzel insanlar.
Central casting.
Onlarla ilişki kurmak ne kadar.
He's like central casting for ownership of a hotel. Everyone is central casting. Central casting. Glasses, head, boom. I watch Judge Kavanaugh, who's central casting. This guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor that could do it better. You are so central casting. Great marks, great schools, the best everything, the best of everything. Your family, your wife, your children. You don't have a problem in the world. You are the greatest. You talk central casting, these guys, you couldn't, I mean, it's incredible. They had a master sergeant there. I could take him right now, bring him to Hollywood, make a military movie, and he's the star of the movie. That happened once before, you know. That did happen once before.
I get the great pleasure of working with the background actors. I handle all the registration of the new actors that come in, and it's about 300 to 500 every week. But there's a lot of people that come that have no set experience. They've never been on a set ever in their life.
Let me see the hands of the never been on set folks one more time. All right, how awesome is that?
And so they would ask a lot of questions on like, well, what's gonna happen when I get there? And what if I don't do it right? And how will I know what to do? And the idea came up to create a class that would be designed to help those brand new people that were just coming in to feel more comfortable on the set.
We want to make sure that you guys know the importance of background acting and also what to expect as a background actor.
Often new background actors are a little nervous. They sort of see production and the directors as here and their role as here, that they are just extras. They're not. They're background actors. They're essential to any film. We couldn't tell a story without them.
We decided to call our program the Central Casting University.
We have DGA guest speakers who come in. We do this twice a month. And every DGA guest speaker who's been with us has asked to come back.
I enjoy coming and speaking at Central Casting University for a lot of reasons. It helps me. It's a people business, and the only way that it works is when you get that group of people that you like to work with, or you train people in the way that you're expecting them to work. And this is a great opportunity. This is the stuff that can actually change the way that we do the work.
The main focus of Central Casting University is to invest in our background actors.
No matter how paranoid or conspiracy-minded you may be, we got to come to grips with the fact that what the government is actually doing is worse than we can possibly comprehend. There are some who want to convince themselves that this was not a WWE-style dog and pony show aimed at infusing new life into the political machine and throwing new fish into the net of religiosity. We also have to admit that within our psychological framework rests a power and a vulnerability. And that power and vulnerability is trust. Trust enables us to get along with people and work together in life, but trust can also be exploited, easily exploited. And the social engineers and psychological operators know this. Since most people are good-hearted, they want to believe that everything they're seeing on TV or on the internet is exactly what's really happening. So most people, while good-intentioned, are easily manipulated and led astray. And then they become uncritical followers. Maybe it's good to remind people of things like this.
If Robbie Parker, I assume he's going to come out to the microphones now and make a statement. Looks like the family is there and they're getting ready to come to the microphone, so we'll listen now.
Okay. So my name's Robbie Parker.
Maybe it's good to remind people of things like this so that in the future we can safeguard our minds from things like this.
I was maybe 10 or 15 feet away when it happened.
I thought if I got out of that room, I would leave the best thing that ever happened to me.
I was doing okay, and then I was putting my 5-year-old to bed, and she had me read her story about love. And she couldn't finish the story. I was thinking about Charlie's little girls, his wife. He was such a powerful human being, and at 31 years old, the things that he accomplished. It's like, we got some candles here, and I couldn't hold a candle to that at this moment. I was closer than any of the students, closer than maybe one security guard between him and I. And I heard the pop, and I knew immediately it was a gunshot. And as soon as I thought that was a gunshot, I saw Charlie's neck and the blood. And I just knew instantly that there was no chance that he was going to survive.
Now, I'm not saying in this video that any of these people are actors and actresses, but I got some serious questions. And we're going to have to be willing to come to terms with the fact that there are some really, really bad people in this world who will do anything for money and power. And this wealth and power corrupts them so badly that they lose their humanity, and they'll do things that average people like you and I just won't do. If she's not in on this whole thing, it appears that Erica Kirk is possibly being exploited. Before his body was even cold, it sure does look like Republican operatives descended on this poor widow. They offered no solace, only scripts. No compassion, just talking points. Their goal wasn't to console her, but to choreograph her sorrow for political gain. What unfolded was one of the most grotesque displays of exploitation in American politics, turning a shattered woman, if that's really what she is, into a mouthpiece for the Republican machine. Consider the heartlessness of it all. In her darkest hour, grappling with sleeplessness, explaining death to her toddler, and reeling from the violent loss of her partner, Erica was encircled not by counselors, but by strategists. While she faced widowhood, it looks like others were crafting her media rollout. As she faced widowhood, others were refining her message. The signs of outright orchestration seem undeniable. A mourning widow suddenly morphed into a conference promoter.
For our TPUSA Faith event, he wanted them to have a home with Turning Point USA. The world needs Turning Point USA. I am tremendously honored to be the new CEO of Turning Point USA. Everything that Turning Point USA built through Charlie's vision and hard work. And yes, campus events will continue. And we will continue to hold debates and dialogue.
Her grief repurposed to fuel the GOP's agenda. And I'm not saying she's in on it, but is she?
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this
this chair. Sat there thinking, how much time do I have till I figure out what I need to do? Because God, did he just hit me? And that's what broke my heart. Because I didn't believe him. I thought if I got out of that room, I would leave the best thing that ever happened to me. And I wish I could sit here and say I stood up and I walked out of that house and I drew a line and I stood up for myself.
Every day. He loved what he did. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. Jesus Christ. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks.
Jordan's probably a virgin, so I'm sending Jordan with my friend Erica. She's beautiful, and she happens to be religious.
Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because prior to becoming Erica Kirk, she was Erica Fransvey, and she had a modeling career. She was a casting director. In 2012, she became Miss Arizona, which was a Trump-owned pageant. So they have Trump links, both of them, both Charlie Kirk and Erica Fransvey, before they even met, had Donald Trump type ties. And how many of these people have we found out later had some kind of modeling or acting career?
You don't think this is the next level? God help you. This was really beautiful blonde hair, her smile, her radiance. I can tell that she's got not only outward beauty, but inner beauty. That's what I'm looking for.
Are you of the mind that this right here is genuine?
Even in death, I could see the man that I love. I saw the one single gray hair on the side of his head, which I never told him about. Now he knows. Sorry, baby, I'm telling you now, but never told him. Didn't want to. One moment, Charlie was doing what he loved, arguing and debating on campus, fighting for the gospel and truth in front of a big crowd. And then he blinked. He blinked and saw his Savior in paradise. My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. That young man. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice.
Why is it in so many of these cases, these tragic incidents, do we see all these people with these acting careers? who have this background and profession of pretending to be somebody that they aren't. It's always going to be easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
You think all this can last? There's a storm coming, Mr. Wayne. You and your friends better batten down the hatches, because when it hits, you're all gonna wonder how you ever thought you could live so large and leave so little for the rest of us.
They never left the atmosphere on bronze in the sky. Nobody cared. Hey, hey, hey. Deep blue, SpaceX, hilarious display. No chain involved, millionaires at play. Fake astronauts, yoga pants, all in blue, still unaware that we're laughing at you. Hey, 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 hey. So retarded and gay. Tell me, did you guys have a lot of fun? Do you finally realize and understand how much you're hated? Old chicks' careers are faded. Can't see how completely out of touch you are. Real astronauts you are, just more entitled celebrities, full of yourself and nobody cares.
I'm Katy Perry. This space trip with a few other women almost exposed the truth. It's all Jeff Bezos' bad acting that raised suspicions. He tripped before opening the hatch maybe, too excited. When we went to open the door at the scheduled time, he wasn't even at the hatch yet. So, we quickly closed it again and let Jeff pretend to open it from the outside. Also, everyone's asking why we didn't wear helmets or traditional spacesuits, but instead wore tight, low-cut outfits and high heels. Come on, we're celebrities. How could we ditch our makeup and high heels on camera? It's part of being a celebrity. We even wore big jewelry into the cabin. Normally, jewelry isn't allowed in space, but we got special permission because Lauren Sanchez needed to show off her 20-carat engagement ring from Jeff to prove how strong their love is. So we all wore jewelry too. And in zero gravity, our hair should have been floating, but it wasn't. The truth is, we were just in a movie studio pretending to be in zero gravity for the camera. Also, did you notice Jeff Bezos touched the capsule with his bare hand, proving it wasn't hot. But when the capsule re-enters the atmosphere, atmosphere, it usually gets super hot and leaves burn marks. And when it landed, the huge impact didn't even affect the nearby bushes. We didn't rehearse beforehand, so there were a lot of slip-ups.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And Alderon's not far away, it's Californication.
In demolition vernacular, squibs refer to visible blasts from explosive charges. Often they are visible through mistiming or malfunction in some way. Usually they are hidden in the debris cloud. In simple terms, squibs are visual evidence of explosives. Squibs were recorded from the moment of the first plane impact through the collapse of the last tower. For me, they went unnoticed until I looked at the video more closely. These stills captured squibs as the towers collapsed. The official version stated these squibs were compressed air caused by the pancaking floors, which squeezed air to the point of bursting out a window. The seal of the building was already broken when the collapse began. Logically, if it was compressed air, it should have found the path of least resistance through the broken part of the building. It shouldn't have knocked out a window here or a window there, as many as 40 floors below the blast wave.
Naysayers tend to say, well, that's just air being blown out the windows. I mean, it doesn't really work to say it's just air pressure. And I estimated these are coming out faster than 100 miles an hour.
The following clips show multiple squibs popping out, sometimes simultaneously, sometimes dozens of floors away from each other. Of all the 9/11 information I've come across, this may have been the easiest to spot. Yet it provided me with one of those stark moments in which the reality of 9/11 sunk in to a new level. In this clip, notice how the squib occurs before the floors above reach the blast ejection point.
Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You gotta get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again.
Hey! Chitterums! Lift it salon! All in our dista, I know they break the wall. All in our dista, I know they break the wall.
Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also. For they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Render therefore to all their dues. Tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lusts thereof.